Hello, sacred community. I am Molly Douglas, lit from within, and this is Spiritually Naked with Soul. Um, this is the first episode, so I'm very excited. This has been quite the journey. Spiritually Naked with Soul. This was originally supposed to be a collaboration with some other divine feminine beings. And as you all know, this year has been full of change. And that's really what I want to explore during this first episode is the change. Personally, this has been huge for me. There have been a lot of things I've wanted to talk about for so long and be able to explore. And there just hasn't seemed like the right timing for this. So I'm just jumping in, I'm leaping, allowing this to be the right time, the right platform, the right space. And what is coming up is this eclipse energy. So we are right in this sandwich of eclipse. We have the eclipse at the 1st of October. I think it's next week, the 14th, part of one eclipse series, and they come in a series of 3. And then we have another one at the end of October, which is part of a different family of eclipses. And both have significant energy for me. And the biggest transitions have happened over the eclipses and these big energy portals that we've had over this year. And the more I speak about this, the more I'm finding other light workers in the community, and not just personally or not just local, but also globally, are having very similar experiences where the universe is really shaking things up. What's familiar, what's comfortable has now been a new path to trust the unknown. And I've been teaching about the sacred feminine path for almost 5 years now. And this has really been based off my own personal journey, the journey of the goddess coming into my world way back in probably 2019, 2020, which is when I met my husband. At the time, we were married for 19 years. This is the year where we are ending that soul contract. And this has been really huge. And more individuals are recognizing that there are so many ways of doing and being that we have been initiated into that are no longer aligning with where we're going, what we're here to do, how we're here to do it, who we're here to do it with. And it's really this bigger picture thinking, which can be so difficult and challenging when we're talking about ending soul contracts that have been very significant. And I'm just gonna speak about mine because this is Spiritually Naked with Soul. This is a place to allow my story to be heard, allow it to be in this vulnerable space. I'm also a channel, so I'm also receiving this guidance and insight, and I've been being told by my guides for years to write and to speak and to share and to be a channel. And so this divine feminine frequency channel is who I call my guides, my light team. And it really is this recognition of this divine, ancient, divine goddess feminine energy that is here to anchor in, to be reclaimed, to be reconnected into all of us. And this is beyond gender. Speaking about feminine and masculine goes beyond gender, and that can get really confusing right now because of everything we associate in the physical world with gender. But just know that when I speak about masculine and feminine, this is beyond. This is, we all have these energies no matter how we identify in this physical world. We all have these energies. They are energy, they are spiritual. This is our spirit, which is fluid and beautiful and moves in all kinds of ways and balances and works together. It's an and both. It's a both, or it's a neither. It's a one. It's a oneness. It's an all. And that's really what this journey for me has been about, is this journey back to oneness and what that means for me. I believe that we start, my guides have shown me that we almost start with a primary, either being more coming through on more of a masculine energy or coming through on more of a feminine energy. And that doesn't mean the stereotypes of gender. It's more of one, you know, we can tend to have more nurturing traits, more creative, intuitive. If we're that feminine, we are connected more into our emotions. A lot of empaths tend to carry that very feminine energy where we are connected into emotion, we are connected into Mother Earth, we are connected into just healing from our heart center, wearing our heart on our sleeve, right? And then if we come into this world in more of a masculine energy, and again, does not matter your how you identify or your sex. It is this energy of being more logical, more rational, more go, more action-oriented. And the majority of us have this balance that we go through back and forth with these energies, right? I believe that we're here to anchor in the feminine. So part of my purpose here is that so I have these energies sort of already connected in. And although this has been some definite shadow work to really embody the highest version of those energies. And so in order to really embody the highest versions of those energies, we have to do the shadow work of where the wounds lie within those. And by doing that, we are able to move through what is ready to release and let go, through old stories, through what we've inherited, breaking these ancestral chains, the soul work that we are here to do in order to help humanity evolve. That feels big to speak that out in truth, but that is it. And as we do that, as we open up more from that heart-centered space, we are able to then hold compassion and understanding and forgiveness for the masculine energies that is within us and also around us. And the opposite is kind of happening, where we are coming back to this love of self and not something outside of ourself to make us feel whole. And that's where this journey is really being recognized for me in my own world, that this is coming back to all those shadowy places and spaces that I have inherited, personal patterns and beliefs, codependency stories, really recognizing that this sacred flame energy, or this twin flame energy. Some guides, leaders, spiritual teachers in this community talk a lot about being a twin flame. And I didn't really understand what that meant until I experienced an awakening of that energy. And it has taken me on this path that has supported me to release those more of those. It's a continued journey, and this is a forever unfolding right now. Spaces and places back to self-love and self-pleasure, which has been my most recent online course, of coming back to that within the self. Because I truly believe that we cannot, and you've heard this before probably, most of you may have, is that, we have to love ourselves in order to know how to love someone else. I've heard that, and I just didn't truly know what that meant until recently. And it's a very vulnerable and scary place to be, to recognize and feel where there's been that disconnection, those feelings of not enough, the shame, the guilt, throughout this whole experience. And I feel like there are many more of you that may be able to relate to this. And that's why I'm sharing this now, is that there is this twin flame journey that many more of you are on, this soul flame, this awakening back to this inner union, this inner balance of this masculine and feminine energy. And when we connect back to that inner story, and there may have been someone who activates it within us, that ignites it, that is almost that opposite of energy, to help recognize when that journey is ready to start, when that activation, that initiation has begun. Your world gets turned upside down, and my world got turned upside down. And recognizing that this is part of soul purpose. This is part of soul purpose. And this doesn't necessarily mean this is the person. Twin flames get associated a lot with romantic partnership. It could be, or it could be collaboration. It could be, I believe that twin flame union is the person you are here to do the thing with. That when those energies come together, when those soul lifetimes come together, there is something so powerful that we were meant to create together, that's going to help heal, that's going to help light up this world, that's going to help bring more light to the planet, that's going to help humanity evolve. There's going to be something that is needed at this time. That was an agreement, a soul contract, a soul agreement in this lifetime, in this space, in this timeline on this planet. And it's aligning with our what's being called the highest timeline, or the golden timeline, and that all the rest are dissolving. And we're doing a lot of this work in our sleep state. So if you're feeling tired, exhausted, if you're waking up from your sleep and your dreams have been really wild and bizarre, we're working on other timelines. We are working on dissolving those and really allowing ourselves to be aligned with our highest one. This is a world of abundance, of love, of joy, of pleasure, of bliss, of ecstasy, peace. It does not have to be scarcity, lack, fear, anger, shame, guilt. And there's so many tools out there right now that can help support you with this, and not spiritually bypass it, but actually do the work, do the shadow work, which comes with any growth. There has to be a release. There has to be a recognition of what's releasing, but allowing yourself to really honor and feel what is no longer serving its highest purpose, so that it can be released and then integrated into the wholeness. We are all shadow and light. That is the priestess path. And this high priestess energy is being able to connect both crowns. It is this journey of the starseed that allows us to open up the heart center, to realize we are these energetic beings of light, but we have these magnetic, amazing, energetic wombs or haras, again, beyond gender, that allows us to co-create, that allows us to manifest, that allows us to birth these beautiful projects and ourself, new self into this world. And as this energy travels from the top down to the bottom and opens up the feminine crown, which is at our root center that connects us to Mother Earth, we are fully connected into that energy. And on this path of awakening, through this shadow work, we find ourselves into the womb of Mother Earth, into those creative fires, those creative sexual fires that ignites our Kundalini energy. And as it ignites that fire, so that feminine energy may be more watery, maybe more of that soothing, nurturing, calming energy. And when we connect into the fires, that's that masculine energy, that's that action, that doing, that putting it out there, that moving it into being. And we need both. We need both as an energetic support for one another. And each chakra holds those energies. So we're activating these energy portals, these chakras, in order to really embody both frequencies, both energies. Yeah, and that's been my journey. And I've identified these awakenings or these gates. Sometimes they're referred as gates, these initiations, the parts that are waking back up, parts that are coming back online, the parts that are being reclaimed in order to be the wholest version, the most authentic version of the self. And I've worked with clients doing this work as well, as an art therapist, as a yoga instructor, trauma sensitive. Trauma sensitive is the key to all of this as well, because we've all experienced trauma. We have trauma in our ancestral lines. We have trauma throughout our soul stories. This world has big trauma and little trauma. It carries trauma, things we witness, what we see on social media and television. It requires a trauma-informed lens. So that's very important to this work as well, is feeling safe and to trust. And that's the first step. If you can't do that, then it's hard to do the rest in order to feel like you have choices. And allow the process to unfold. That takes a lot of trust. And so, yes, the voice has been activated. That's the masculine energy, being able to move that self-expression out. That fiery energy connected into the earth. So this energy comes back up towards the surface. It's this descend in order to rise. And the card that I drew, which was from the Goddess Knowledge cards, for this very first Spiritually Naked with Soul, is Persephone. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Persephone, she had the voyage, she had the journey of, she's known as the goddess of soul. And she went into the darkness of the underworld in order to find her wisdom. So going into those dark and uncomfortable places, into those scary spaces, those shadowy places, those things that make us find our courage and find our strength. She represents the ability to rule over the aspects of ourselves that are terrifying. So she's very appropriate, especially for myself, who has an avoidance towards being public, being seen, being heard. That's definitely been a challenge. There's soul stories about that are being rewritten and rewired in order to release and let those wounds go. But also we all we all are facing these spaces and places within us that feel terrifying, that move us to our edges, that we know we are here to overcome and to not allow those fears to continue to rule us and keep us dim and keep us small. So, thank you. Thank you for being here on this journey. Thank you for being here and holding space with me on this journey as we will get more naked with soul. We will come into more of this light worker's journey, this starseed's journey of what's going on in the bigger picture and what's going on personally or in the collective, that we can hold space and light. My intention is to provide not only stories to create connection and not feeling alone, or that you're the only one going through this, but also to provide tools and support throughout this journey as well. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time, take care, beloveds.